Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 381, written by DekuDynamite. Memories of a troubled safe haven teen that never stayed with them. Walked into my best friend's house in 2001, 8th grade. She was getting ready in the bathroom. I was chatting her up. I took a few steps into the hallway to look into the living room. I thought I heard her mom or something. There, I see a young woman sitting on the couch. I knew her, Riley. She lived in a different state and did drugs with my cousin, but had no relation to my best friend or her family. My brain wouldn't compute. I pull my best friend into the hallway and point. She sees her too. I said, I know her. Her name is Riley. I didn't mention the drugs because I'm sure this chick can hear me. Riley waves and smiles. She embodies mischief. Bestie confirms. Nope, never seen her before. Why the hell is she on the couch? My friend and I disappear in the opposite direction, looking for her mom. Why didn't we approach Riley instead? Riley was creepy. When she looked at you, it was like she wanted to eat you or devour your soul. Terrifying. Might have been the drugs. We find her mom outside. She tells us, she's having problems at home. I'm not telling you anything more. You girls be nice. Make her feel at home. Riley stays there for a month or two. My best friend's mom sometimes housed victims of abuse through a non-profit. She was the newest safe haven for Riley. Fast forward 10-ish years. My best friend and I are going to visit my cousin. Guess who we see? Creepy McCreepy. Riley says she hasn't seen me since I was a small child. I give her a puzzled look. Maybe she wanted to keep the home abuse a secret. Forget it all. She acts like she has never met my best friend. Okay, so maybe nobody in her life knows about this trip to a safe house for a month. Gotcha. We're all clued in. Later, Riley and I end up alone on the outdoor deck. She says something like, I can't believe I haven't seen you since you were 5 years old. And a few other curiosities. I didn't intend to comment on anything, but like word vomit, it just came out. Do you really not remember seeing me? After explaining everything, the safe house, her month stay, etc. During those months, we talked about my cousin, their drug use, her family. She looked effing baffled. I told her if she didn't believe me, we could grab my bestie and get her side of it. She agrees. Bestie comes out. Riley is now so perplexed that she's not even talking. Then it's denial. She says she must have had a doppelganger or a twin. We say no, you talked about my cousin, you're home, nothing was different. Now we're getting concerned we're going to bring up repressed memories or crap. I'm trying to leave it alone, change the subject. Nope, dog meets bone. She starts asking us what this year was, what month, says she can prove it wasn't her. Riley calls my cousin out and asks him what grade they were in when they went to Yellowstone for 2 weeks. Through photos and 3 hours of sleuthing. Indeed, Riley was in Yellowstone with my cousin the same time she was at the safe house. Info suggests July 20th-ish. Riley feels vindicated. Like, see, I told you it wasn't me. My best friend and I are beyond horrified. There are only 3 options. We got the dates wrong, or drugs riddled this chick's brain, or she really wanted to keep it a secret, and we just effed it up big time. A few months later, Bestie calls me for our nightly chats. Something like, I talked to my mom. She remembers Riley. She remembers she was weird, and she was the most stressful safe haven they ever had. They called her Sticky Fingers. My bestie asked about the dates her mom thought she stayed with us. Same time frame as Riley's Yellowstone trip with my cousin. Middle of July to middle of August 2001. Years passed. We left it alone. Obviously, we had gotten dates wrong. Something. Fine. I'm pragmatic. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Riley shoots me a Facebook message. Our first conversation ever. Look what I found. She and my cousin had a photo of them at Cook City entrance with a firefighter who had been battling a fire for a week or so that summer. The date was in the photo. July 31st, 2001. Middle of their trip to Yellowstone. My bestie's birthday is August 2nd. Riley was there for that party. She sat in the kitchen, She ate the cake. Impossible. Still don't know what happened. I've completely given up on trying to figure it out. But still, it's a good story. Thought I would share. Edit. To answer why it couldn't be a doppelganger. When Riley stayed there, we did hang out like once or twice a week, at the behest of my bestie's mother. We talked about my cousin. Riley talked about how his parents, my aunt and uncle, were so stupid for not picking up on why he had a mirror table. For blow. He still has that table. I wouldn't have known about the table beforehand if it wasn't for her. The things we talked about were memories from when my cousin was younger and had a goth phase. Case file number 382, written by Fortitude777. Creepy Barry is in more places than one. My best friend's dad is named Barry. I'd love to give him a pseudonym, but the truth is, his name is Barry and it just works. Barry is a simple man. He likes his booze, his animals, and the cabin. He loves to goof around and he's got a heart of gold. My friend came to me one day and expressed that sometimes she would see her dad walking around the house only for him to actually be on the couch asleep. For those of you familiar with astral travel, we, or at least I, believe he was unconsciously doing this, but it was still hard to believe. I honestly believe she was hallucinating and going crazy. We were attached at the hip, so this is standard, but I was at her house while she nor her dad were home. He actually may have been picking her up. Her bedroom had a sliding door. I watched it slide open, and her dad was staring at me. Then he walked away. "Barry?" I said. I walked to the couch. He wasn't there. I looked outside and his truck was gone. He wasn't home. Impossible. This happened another time during the night, while we were in a different room. I walked out to find him asleep on the couch. My friend testifies and swears up and down she's seen the same. Plus, one time, she saw him in a cape dancing. Anyway, that's Creepy Barry. The real Barry is just a good guy. I tried to tell this story at school as a teen and almost got Child Protective Services called on me. Case file number 383, written by KnDen. When the poles mysteriously align. Last weekend, my coworker and I were setting up for a big event. We were setting up a photo booth area with a green screen. I was reading the labels and connecting the poles for the green screen stand. There were 2 middle poles that connected, and 2 outside poles that connected to either side of the middle poles. The 2 middle poles connected no problem, but when it came to connecting the outside poles, we ran into the same problem. The ends didn't match. I tried to connect the pole to side A, but it didn't fit, so I flipped the pole and tried to connect to side B, with no luck. I watched my coworker attempt the same thing, trying one side, then the other, with the same results. I told her to check the bag for more poles while I held on to my pole and the middle pole. There were no more poles in the bag, so I tried again with almost 100% confidence that it wasn't going to work. That's when the end of my pole slides and clicks into place. I watched my coworker do the same thing. Just a few seconds before that, the poles did not match and the ends had looked completely different. But suddenly they matched perfectly. I looked at my coworker and she looked at me and said, "That just happened, right?" I was seriously shaken after that. I think if I had been alone, I would have shaken it off as not paying attention, but the fact that my coworker and I saw it happen at the same time freaked me out a bit. Luckily, I haven't experienced any more glitches since. My coworker, on the other hand, said she had a few more weird experiences since then. Case notes, file number 383. There's something curious in this small glitch, in that it's a small moment, but I think it had to happen. You had to be able to set those poles up. I wonder if there was a manufacturing glitch, like a real mundane problem in how the poles were made, or maybe you didn't receive the correct ones in the package. But then the server programmers decided, hey, this isn't right, this has to happen, this event has to happen. So they reconfigured the ends of the poles to match correctly. And if that's the case, I wonder how many other things are being controlled. I do think we have free will, but everything else around us might just be fair game. Just a thought.